Hello and welcome to Outsiders Weather and the Skeptics Ice Age Watch, where it was freezing at the French Open last week. It's ridiculous. It's too cold, complained former world #1 Victoria Azarenka through chattering teeth. I'm going to get frozen. Azarenka walked on court wearing a pink puffer jacket under grey skies with only a couple of dozen spectators brave enough to sit in the windswept stands. The weather is so cold, it makes it difficult for everyone, said Rafael Nadal before the matches started. The ball is completely different. The ball is super slow heavy. It's very cold.
It's really cold, but at the same time, we're all in the same conditions, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about it too much.
Sound advice, Azarenka. Indeed, the conditions are the same for all of us, as we can see on this graph showing how we currently have zero solar sunspot activity, also known as a grand solar minimum, Azarenka. This is when sunspot activity and sunspot flares are non-existent, meaning the planet cools down. This graph also explains why the planet warmed up over the years from 2010 to 2015, during a period of, surprise, surprise, high solar sunspot activity. I asked a group of typical, rational, young millennial women what they thought of my hypothesis that the sun might be responsible for fluctuations in the weather rather than man-made carbon dioxide. Sorry, girls, it's just a theory. Meanwhile, scores of temperature records were smashed as a cold blast swept through the eastern United States last week. Dozens of temperature records were smashed as a shot of cold air swept through the region, weeks ahead of the average for much of the area. Also last week, we saw a polar plunge bring showers, hail, thunder and snow down to 600 metres in southeastern Australia. I probably don't need to tell you, with temperatures that feel more like mid-July, not late September. Maximums 5 to 10 degrees Celsius below the September average, and it's very, very cold now. The BOM, that's the BOM, the Bureau of Meteorology, forecast snow on the Stirling Ranges as a cold snap hit southern Western Australia, including at Bluff Knoll, no relation to Shannon, and as parts of Victoria recorded the highest September daily rainfall. The highest September daily rainfall in some places since 1976. This is what a fan of Ice Age Watch wrote to tell me, and reminded me that it is exactly a year ago that Lisa Neville, who is presently both Dan Andrews' Minister for Water and also Dan Andrews' Minister for the Police, responsible for the sort of behaviour we have shown you earlier, and here it is again, she claimed that water flow in Victorian rivers will halve by 2065, and even current dams will not be filled. Shades of Tim Flannery. Currently, the dams in Victoria supplying Melbourne's water are at the highest they have been since 2016, with further heavy rain forecast for spring and early summer. What great talent you have on your team, Dan Andrews. Meanwhile, remember, this global warming genius?
We're here because our world is warming. Undeniably, it is warming.
Prime Minister Jacinda undeniably had to interrupt her campaigning for the upcoming New Zealand election, where it is, of course, undeniably spring, when she got stuck down in Invercargill last week and undeniably could not fly out because there was undeniably so much snow. Yes.
The heaviest snow, the deepest accumulations expected to be above 300 metres. That's where we could see 20, 30, 40 centimetres or more in some of the higher parts of Fiordland. Same thing for southern parts of Southland, southern parts of Clutha and Stewart Island. This morning there has been snow on the beaches down in that part of the country, and we are basically expecting it to continue.
Yes, that's snow on the beaches all the way down south on Stewart Island in spring. And here's a new anthem for all the global warming lovies, sung by Jethro Tull, called Skating Away on the Thin Ice of a New Day.
Skating away, skating away, skating away, on the thin ice of a new day.